Hello everybody, Amulet here with this week's Dev Diary. Kind of an oddball week. I have a few real-life obligations to take care of, a few minor crises that gave a fair chunk of free time. And then when I did get to working on the game, I sort of bit off more than I can chew, so I started a bunch of things. I'll show you what I've got. I don't really have much in the way of level builds, but I'll show things off. To start with, we'll get to that in a moment, but to start with, I need to go to stage 2, and I do have the, should be able to hear the sound. I need to show off that I fixed the bug with the music in stage 2, which I thought would fix the previous update, but when I had someone play test it wasn't working properly, so we'll see what's going on. This should work now, though. But the idea is that if you go, the music would cut out just before you got to the, or just as you were getting to the pyramid. It would cut out, and you'd have to, and it would just be silent for the rest of the stage. That should be fixed now. You may also say increase the speed at the power, the shield power-up animation, just to make it a little bit better. Yep, and the music did loop, if you can hear it. Hopefully came through. Should have, but it was coming through on like the test IO, but my IO likes to play games with me. But not only that, but I also fixed a bug with the boss, where the stage 2 music would keep playing at the same time as the boss music. So that's that shouldn't be happening either, so that should be fixed as well. And I have something else to show off with Mr. Morton here, boss 2. I think I mentioned before that I adjusted his pattern. That does seem to be a little bit easier. It's still not. I might still mess with it a little bit, but he's doing okay. But if you look at him, he's actually getting red as you do damage to him, indicating that he's getting weaker. So there's that. I might give him a little bit more HP with that new pattern. We'll see. But yeah, so fix a couple of little bugs. I probably will release an update, if only because I did fix those little things. Now let's go and get to level 3, and we'll see what I've got here. And I'll have to kind of just cycle through the first few set scenes over and over again. I'm going to go ahead and take off the music just to reduce background noise. But first of all, we got, no, I took it out, but it's fine. Let me go ahead, and I actually need to kill myself here. So, oops, need to fix that. I didn't attach that to them. Okay, so we got stage 3. If Mario goes in the water, he splashes. Makes a little splash animation, which I also use for certain enemies, or I will be using. We've got the, what the heck are those things called? Fire Lotus, I believe, from Mario 3, of course from Mario 3. They, will generate a few shots and spray them out. They're not really shooting in the directions I want them to yet. I'm still working out the math for them. Again, this is a week of a lot of, kind of a little bit overambitious, but you know, I kind of want them to shoot just generally up, and they're kind of doing that weird, too big of a fan shape, so I need to play with the math a little bit more. I did rework the sprite for the seahorse, so it's a little bit bigger. It is bigger. It's a 24 by 24, I think, 24 by 16, something like that. But it just looks more, it just looks better. And that is a custom sprite, so I'll be putting up on DeviantArt here in a moment, or whenever I get this upload. Okay, and then you kind of saw it here briefly, but I added an enemy here, which is the tail end of a big fish that's going to spray out a bunch of bubbles as you fly by. Once again, not 100% where I want it to be, as I'm kind of playing around with it, but the idea is it kicks up a bunch of bubbles and occasionally a fish, and just if you get hit by the bubbles, it hurts you. Still kind of working on that. The bubbles still moving, was just, I forgot to add the tag to make them stop when everyone dies. But there's that. I need to do that with the waterfall too, don't I? Yeah, again, like, I'd started a bunch of things this week, and I just haven't, like, thoroughly played it, so I was kind of running out of time, so I was hoping to get enough stuff that I could, like, build some level, and I just kind of didn't. So, this is what I've got to work with. And of course, you know, he doesn't have any health, so. But we have this little waterfall effect, for the second half of the stage. Huh, that shouldn't have happened. For the second half of the stage, I'm going to kind of go into like an underwater cave type thing so you can have more underwater enemies. Like these octopus guys, who are the same octopus enemies from Mario Land. Once again, they are custom sprites because the Mario Land sprites just look really teeny tiny compared to the other sprites. So that is them, and they act like in Mario Land. Obviously, right now I have them flying in the sky because I was practicing with them, but I'll have them in the underwater section. So like I'm working on getting like some new enemies, so I have interesting things to build for the level. I just ran out of time, and some other things I'm going to be having in here. We are going to have, let's see, I can just spawn somebody in here, Ouija. I'm also planning on having the electric jellyfish here, just kind of scattered around the underwater section, being a nuisance. None of these things have any like collision detection or anything, but they will just be like harmful blocks, like they are. Got the rest of Big Bertha here, who'll be swimming around trying to eat you up, and possibly shooting at her little baby fishies. And then, hey, here's a sprite for our next character, who, again, I just haven't been able to get her in there with all the other stuff. So, Miss Daisy, since I'm pulling a little bit more from Mario Land for this world, I figure I might just have her be our, next playable character. Still working out what to do with her. I know I'm going to give her the Super Ball from Super Mario Land, which, for those who don't know, it will shoot a ball down and it bounces around the room. So great for tight corridors, probably not so much for wide open areas. Still working out what other items to give her. Mario Land doesn't offer a whole lot of good items to work with. The only power-up Mario gets is the star and the Super Ball. So I'll have to kind of play around with that a little bit. There's a couple of things I can do, I just have to kind of play around with it. But, I think that's everything on my list here. Oh, there's one other, like, minor bug I fixed that I just don't know how it took me this long to fix it. But somewhere along the, what the, hey, oh, probably because of the test room thing. Somewhere along the way, yeah, there we go. I put a wrong number somewhere, and when you died, Mario's death sprite would jump up, like 16 pixels above the plane. Not sure why I did that or how I did that, so I kind of cleaned that up, and now you will, the death sprite will appear where your plane was. Maybe it made sense to me at the time, it may have been left over from some of my old system, but as I was kind of working through things, I just had noticed how jarring it was, and decided to fix that. So now we got everyone kind of, dying from where they're touched, as they should. Still got more stuff I'm working on, and just, like I said, just didn't get to the point where I can do a lot of new, actually new content, just a few bug fixes. So, I'll release what I've got, because the bug fixes are, a few small, nice things. But, yeah, hopefully next week I'll have enough resources I can start building, really starting to build a stage. I've got a few things drafted up, I just didn't get the time to put them in. It's been one of those weeks. Anyways, I'm kind of rambling, so, as always, thank you for watching. Feedback is always very welcome and appreciated, and I hope you all have a great week. Take care.